Hello, everyone. This is going to be the lecture for the color wheel assignment, module 2. Module 1 was the introduction. So this is module 2. You should have by now been reading over the first couple parts of module 2, the introduction to Illustrator. So the Illustrator week 1 start here. The Adobe Illustrator introduction is the page that I posted the overview of Adobe Illustrator, the video, and then some more information about what Illustrator is, what a vector image is, the tools, and then talks a little bit about what an Illustrator document, what it contains. And then the next one that you should have been reading over and working on is the Illustrator Workspace and Tools assignment. So there is a couple videos there for you to watch. And then there is a PDF that you will need to download and answer the questions. Well, the first one here is a Word document. All of the answers are in the videos that you would be watching. And again, here is the link to those videos. This is not a, there's no exact due date on this first one for you to complete. You can take your time and work on it. But I would like you to get familiar with the InDesign or the Illustrator interface and some of the other options that Illustrator has. So by watching those videos that are here on this link, as you watch those videos, work along or jot down notes from the videos, and then you'll be able to answer these questions here in this document. And then you're going to submit that Word document. And then the next one here is knowing the program. And so this PDF here will go over some of the panels. Like the home screen, how to create a new document, creating a new document, this window here, the document layout, or not the document layout, but the interface for Illustrator. So it tells you where the control panels, where the menu bar, and so forth here. And then it gives you a screenshot of the toolbox. The main tools that we're going to be using in this class are the selection tools, the pen tool, and the type tool, and then some of the shape tools. You'll also become familiar with creating a fill and a stroke, or adding a fill or a stroke to a shape, or whatever you may be creating in Illustrator. Here are all the tools. There are quite a few more tools in Illustrator, but these are the main ones. And again, the main ones that we're going to be using are the selection tools, the two selection tools here, the pen tool. We will be using the eyedropper a little bit, the free transform tool, and then the type tool, we'll be using that quite a bit. Okay, so review this PDF here, and then you're going to download this Illustrator Work/Tools PDF. And on here, you'll see that there are lines for you to fill in. And there is also a word bank from there that you can choose words, choose the terms or the words to add into those corresponding blanks with the corresponding letters on each of these pages. And then this is a quiz. It's again, you have a word bank here, and then you're going to fill in or figure out which word goes with which number on here. And again, you can take as much time as you need on this this PDF here. There is no exact due date on it. This is more just reference for you that you can come back at any time and review it. So that's the tools here. And then this is the tool panels, and you can see here in the main toolbox, this image here, there's, quite a few tools here, but there's also a little arrow here at the bottom on this particular tool. And that just means that there's more tools underneath there. So this next page here, so these are the tools that are grouped together in each of those underlying tools. So again, you have a word bank here, use those words to fill in here. And then here is another one. It's another breaks down the rest of the tools that are underneath there as well. And then this last one here again is more about tools. And again, all of this information is in that PDF, the first PDF that I showed you, but you also have, words here that you can reference or find. You already see the column graph here, but then what would be the next one? And again, this is more just for your reference. You can, look up the terms, find the terms, either, do a search on the Adobe website and search for the tools, or the videos that I gave the link to you as well. They should have the answers in there as well. Okay, so that's the first part of the module that needs to be completed. Both the Word document and the PDF will need to be submitted to Canvas, to this page, assignment page. There is points for it, but there is no exact due date. It's whenever you can get it completed. And if you need to go back and forth to it as much as you need to, that's fine as well. Okay. So the Illustrator workspace and tools, that's what this is. You're going to watch the videos and then work on the worksheets for each, the two different worksheets. And then the next thing is a page that has more links to the Adobe website, explains how to get to the different help sections or the support tabs. And again, here's a link to the Illustrator tutorials. There's short videos for you to watch, and they'll help you understand a little bit more each part of Illustrator. For more, and then you can refer back to them for more reference as the semester goes on. And then I've also posted a list of different videos for you to watch. They are different designers or different people that use Illustrator on a regular basis. They may present the same information to you, but just present it in a little bit different way. So there's quite a few videos here for you to watch. And again, this page will be here the entire time. So if you want to reference back to them at any time, you can as well. Okay, so that's what this page is. And then the next one, the first official Illustrator assignment is working on a color wheel. This page here talks a little bit about what a color wheel is, what the primary colors are, secondary colors, and so forth. And then down here, I have some links to websites that talk a little bit more about color theory, color and the meaning of color, psychology of color for interior design, but it also, color is important in any type of design. You want to also research colors as well for when you're designing something. You may need to design something for an international audience, and some countries have colors that mean different things. Each country, a color will mean something different in each country. So what one color may mean here in the United States may mean something completely different in another country. So you want to be conscious of what colors you're using and choosing for your design. So some of these websites here will give you some information on that as well. Okay, so just read over those at your own pace. It's important information that you're going to refer back to at many times if you are continuing in the design or graphic design field. Okay, and then there's some more color websites here that weren't on the other one. Again, talking about color, psychology of color, how color impacts emotions. And then these PDFs here at the bottom are, again, talking some more about color. Color is a very important part of design, whether it's graphic design, film design, web design, it's an important part of design overall. And when you're on your own computer, these PDFs should load a little bit faster. And if for whatever reason, any of these links or any of these PDFs don't come up for you, just let me know and I'll go back in and relink them or try to figure out what's going on. But they all should work. Okay, so this one's coming up a little bit faster. Okay, so this is psychology of color. So again, read over these at your own time. I will reference back to some of them as we're working on some of the other assignments as well. Okay. All right, so our first official assignment in Illustrator is creating a color wheel. So you'll be creating a color wheel with 12 basic primary, secondary, and tertiary colors. Understanding how to create color and use a color wheel is a fundamental skill a graphic or web designer needs to have. And like I said, even with film, if you're going into video or animation or anything like that, color is also important for that. Okay, so for this assignment, basic introduction to Illustrator, the objectives are as using the selection tools, understanding fill and stroke, creating colors, and then saving files. So before you begin this assignment, review the color wheel page, which is this first one here that I showed you. So it talks about what a color wheel is, what the primary colors are, so forth. And then once you've reviewed that, you're going to download two Illustrator files. So the .ai extension is for Illustrator. So I'm going to go ahead and download the two files. So I have crayons, so a set of 12 crayons, and then a flower that has 12 petals on it. And we're going to be filling in those shapes with specific colors. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download them. So to download the files, I click on these little arrows here. You can also click on the file name and it'll allow you to download it as well there. But I'm going to go ahead and click on the little arrow and I'm going to have it download. I have it set on my computer to tell it where I want it to download. You may have a little bit different with your browser. It may go to your downloads. It may go to your documents folder. But depending on which browser you're using, you may see it down here at the bottom in Chrome. So all of my files that I download will be down here. But if you're in Safari or Firefox, you're going to have your downloads will probably be up here at the top somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and download this file. And I'm going to download the flower. I'll click save. Okay, so then I'm going to go over to Illustrator, which I've already launched it. And then again, when you first launch Illustrator or when you launch Illustrator each time, the start screen, the interface looks like this. It's always going to have the new file button, the open button, the link to learn. So if you want to go to the Adobe site and learn something else about the application, a specific thing, you can click there. You have a link to your files shared with you, and that's if you're working with someone else on a project. You can share files across with each other. And then be able to link to that, and then any files that you may have deleted. And then you're also going to have some default document sizes down here at the bottom. So start a new file fast. So depending on what you may be designing, whether it's a print document or a something for the screen or TV, you'll have that. And then you also have more presets that you can click on as well. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and go to File or the Open button. And I'm going to go to my desktop, and my desktop is quite messy, but I'm going to locate my crayons. And here it gives you a preview of what the document looks like before you open it. So you can see there's 12 crayons there. And then I'm going to go ahead and click Open. And here is the file. So we have our toolbox or tool palette or tool panel. They're, interchangeable words for the tools. On the left-hand side of the document, when you hover over the tools, it gives you a little animation letting you know what the tool is. And then you can also click the Learn More button, and it will take you to the Adobe site where you can watch some videos about that or get some more information about it. Okay. So each tool has a shortcut associated with it. So you can see that when you hover over each tool, it tells you in the little square there what the keyboard shortcut is. Down here at the bottom, then you have your fill and your stroke. So the fill is the color of the shape. The stroke is the color of the line around the shape. So a line, you can have a dotted line, you can have a thick line, a real thin line. So that's what those two are. And then over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see the properties panel. This is going to tell you all the information about your document, because I don't have anything currently selected on this document. It just has some information about the properties of the document, and then how to add rulers, guides, and some other preference options there. Once I select something, so I'm going to come over here and select my selection tool. It's the one in the top right corner, or top left corner of your toolbox, I should say. So now that I have it selected, I'm going to come over and I'm going to click on my first crayon. Once I've done that, a little bit more information appears over on the right-hand side in your properties panel. So now it has some information about the width and the height of that particular shape. Your appearance panel also appears, where you can change the fill and then the stroke. And then you have an align panel right below that, and that allows you to line things up or align things on your document or your page, so that, say, maybe everything is aligned to the top of a shape or the side of a shape. So that's what the align panel is. Okay, so the first part for this, we're going to fill each of these crayons with a specific color. So back over in Chrome, in our assignment page, hold on one second, because I need to make sure that I'm sharing both things here. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay, so you may not have seen the Illustrator document at first. So I'll go back over that again here in just a second. So I'm back over here in Canvas. So we're going to launch Illustrator, open both files, choose the selection tool in the toolbox, and then select the first crayon. Then we're going to go to the properties panel and scroll down to the appearance section. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to Illustrator. Okay, so again, briefly, because you may not have seen it at first there, when you open your document for the first time, you're going to see the properties panel appear, and that's going to give you some information about the document itself, you know, the units of measurement, how many artboards. You can add your rulers and guides there, and then some preferences about the document itself. Nothing else is appearing here in this properties panel because I don't have anything selected. Once I select something with the selection tool, once I click on a shape, the appearance panel then appears. So again, you have your fill and your stroke, and then the weight of the stroke. So for this assignment, we're just going to be focusing on the fill right now. We're going to be creating a colors, 12 different colors here. Okay, so I'm going to be referencing going back and forth from Illustrator to Canvas so I can get the numbers that are needed for each of the colors. Okay, so again, I'll be going back and forth. You have your color values right here. So red is 100% magenta, 100% yellow, orange, yellow, yellow, green, so far and so forth. The numbers are here. Okay, so we're going to be using the CMYK color spectrum to create these colors. So that's what the CMYK is. It's cyan, magenta, yellow, and then black. Okay, so I'm going to go back over to Illustrator. I'm going to come over here to the fill box here. And then I'm going to click on this little color mixer here. It looks like a little artist palette. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to make sure that I'm able to access the CMYK spectrum. So I'm going to come here on this little 3 lines, and that's where you're going to access your different spectrums: grayscale, RGB, HSB is hue, saturation, and brightness, CMYK, and then web RGB. So anything that you may be creating for the web or for a website or for screen, you're going to want to use those web safe colors. Okay, so you're going to make sure that there's a check mark next to CMYK. And then that's going to bring up the sliders and the spectrum for CMYK for us to add in colors. So you want to make sure that you have your first object selected. And then you're going to see that you have a bounding box, a blue line around it. And that's letting you know that that particular shape is selected. And then I'm going to flip back over to Canvas, and I'm going to create the first color. So I have it set up both ways. I have it set up in a chart where you can see the number values, and then also down here as a picture where you can see what each color looks like based on those values. Okay, so whichever one you're more comfortable using, if you're better working with numbers visually that way or visually this way, you can use whichever. They're both the same setup. Okay, so the first color that I'm going to create is red. So it's magenta 100 and yellow 100. So I'm going to go back over to Illustrator. Again, click on my fill and magenta 100 and yellow 100. So I'm typing those values in each of those fields. And as I do that, you can see the color changes over here on what I have selected. Okay, so then I still have my selection tool. I'm going to go ahead and click on the second crayon, switch back over to Illustrator, Chrome, Chrome to Canvas. And then I'm going to create orange. So it's 50 magenta, 100 yellow. So click on the fill box, 50 magenta, and then 100 yellow. And as you press your tab key, it will cycle through those fields. Okay, then I'm going to click on the third crayon, go back over to Canvas, and then yellow is just 100% yellow. Okay, the fourth one is yellow green, so 60 or 50% cyan and 100% yellow. So 50 cyan, 100% yellow. So 50 cyan and then 100% yellow. And then the fourth one is, fifth one, I should say, is green. So it's 100% yellow, or yeah, 100% yellow, 100% cyan. So 100% cyan and 100% yellow. And click on the next one. Yeah, and then that's going to be blue green. So 100% cyan, 50% yellow. So 100% cyan, 50% yellow. So I'm just going to keep switching back and forth between Canvas and Illustrator here and adding those colors. Okay, so I did this one already. So I'm going to do blue. So it's going to be 100% cyan. And then this one is going to be 100% cyan, 50% magenta. So 100 cyan, 50% magenta. Okay, and then we have violet. So that's 100% cyan, 100% magenta. So 100, 100. And then we have red violet. So 50% cyan, 100% magenta. So 50% cyan, 100% magenta. So 50. And then 100. And then we have violet, which is going to be 100% magenta. And then the last one is red orange. So that's 100% magenta, 50% yellow. So 100 and then 50. Okay, so that's how you select an object using your selection tool, and then coming over here to the fill and creating your own color. So this, you don't have to, if you're creating something else here in Illustrator, when we get to one of the other assignments where you're going to trace something and you want to create a color, you can use the spectrum down here at the bottom, or you can, you know, type in your numbers here to create a specific color. You know, you have a color in mind, and you can do specific percentage of each color to make up that color. So this is going back to painting with, you know, paint watercolors or oil paints, or even, yeah, so with painting with watercolors or oil paints, you would mix a certain percentage of each color to come up with a color. So the computer does that for you when you're designing something. Okay. All right, so that once you're done with this, you're going to go to File, Save As, and I want you to add your last name and first name to the file so that when I download it to grade it, I know that it belongs to you, because I may have students that have the same last name or even the same first name. And I want to make sure that I'm grading it and giving the grade to the correct student. Okay, so please type your last name, first name, and then the name of the assignment, which in this case is crayons. And then you're going to save that. This dialog box here will come up. It's just giving you Illustrator options. You can just click OK with these settings for these files. It's just letting you know which version it's saving it to, and some other options. So when you see this Okay, I apologize. Something happened with my Zoom. It just stopped in the middle of what I'm doing. So I'm not sure how much it recorded. I think I was finished with the crayons. I think I had just opened up the flowers, the flower petals or the flower image, and then it kind of stopped on me. So once you have completed the crayons, go ahead and save it with your last name and then first name and then crayons. And then you are going to then move on to the flowers. So I'm going to go to File, Open, locate the flower, and then click Open. And here you'll see another Illustrator file that has different shapes for you to select. And then it has the corresponding colors here that you're going to be adding. Okay, so you're going to use that same color chart that I had already, that you were using earlier for the crayons. And you're going to fill in each of those shapes with the corresponding color. So again, you're going to click on the shape. Once you've done that, your appearance panel over here appears. And you can see right now, this looks a little bit different than the one previous. There is no fill. So this, think of this as hollow. You can see through that shape. There's no fill there. There is just a stroke around there or a line around there. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to click on the fill. And because there's no color, you're not going to see the CMYK spectrum here already. It's just going to take you to that first field here to start typing in the color. So I'm going to switch back over to Canvas. And then the first color is going to be red. So it's 100% magenta, 100% yellow. So 100% cyan and 100% yellow. I apologize. It should be 100% magenta and 100% yellow. Okay, so then the next one is going to be red orange, which is this one over here, down here at the end. So it's 100% magenta, 50% yellow. So 100% magenta, 50% yellow. And then we have orange, which is 50% magenta, 100% yellow. So 50, 100. And then we have yellow orange. Okay, yellow orange, yellow orange. Okay. So this one should then be, okay, so the color chart I doesn't exactly correspond on here. So yellow orange is going to be then 50% magenta and 50% yellow. Let's do. Okay. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. Fix the color there. Okay, I apologize. So for yellow, you're gonna put in 100% yellow and 0 for all the other fields. And then for yellow green is going to be 50% cyan, 100% yellow. Green would be 100% cyan and 100% yellow. Blue-green, oops, blue-green is going to be 100% cyan and 50% yellow. Blue will be 100% cyan. And then 0 in the other ones. Blue-violet is 100% cyan, 50% magenta, or 100% magenta. Violet will be 100%, so 0% cyan, 100% magenta. And then red violet would be 50, 100. Whoops, I keep pushing the tab key. Sorry about that. So red violet is 50% magenta, 50% cyan, 100% sorry. 50% cyan, 100% magenta. This one here should be let me see if I do 100. And that's red. 100%. And then 50%. Yeah. So red orange should be 100% magenta, 50% yellow. And then orange is going to be 50% magenta, 100% yellow. And yellow orange. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, there's 12. Okay. So as you can see, this is arranged a little bit differently than the crayons. The crayons, I didn't have words on there. This one I have words corresponding to the colors. So you can just go ahead and use the same order that I have here on the values. And if they don't the color don't correspond with the color here, that's fine. But I'll be able to see that you've created the spectrum. Okay. So sure here. Sorry, I apologize for that. So going back, just use the chart here. I put the order of the colors in the wrong order. Should have been the same order as this here. So use the same chart here that you used for the crayons, and each corresponding shape here, each petal, start here with red, then orange, yellow, yellow, green, and so forth, and go around, even if the color doesn't correspond to the word that's above it. That's fine. That was my mistake, the way I arranged the wording on here. Okay. So again, use the settings, the number values here in this chart for each of the shapes. It doesn't matter where you start on there. And the word doesn't have to correspond with the color. That was my mistake when I created the file. Okay. Then once you've added the color to all of those shapes, you're going to go ahead and save as, and then again, add your last name and then first name, and then save that as, again, with your your last name and first name, and then flower, and then go ahead and save that. And then okay, this dialog box here. And then you will submit both of these files to Canvas. So as a student, under the student view, you will see start assignment. You're going to click on that. And then down here at the bottom, it's going to give you the file upload option. You're going to click upload file, choose file, and then you're going to locate your 2 files that you just created. So the crayons, and then add another file, upload file, choose a file, and then locate your other document, and then click open. And then once you have both of those listed here in the file upload, you're going to submit the assignment. And once you do that, it's going to give you confirmation that you have submitted something, and it's going to tell you over here on the right-hand side what you have submitted to Canvas. Okay, and you have multiple attempts. So if you go back and change something on the file and you want to resubmit it, you have multiple attempts on each of the assignment pages. Okay, so those are the 2 files that are required for the color wheel assignment. I have also included 2 other Illustrator documents for you to download down here at the bottom if you would like to do more practice. Those 2 are not required, but again, if you want more practice with filling in color, filling shapes with color, you can do that. So let me open one of the other ones just so you can see what it looks like. So shapes. Okay, so there's 12 shapes here. And so you're going to use the table here with the colors, or you can use this image here with the colors, and you're going to fill each of these shapes or groups of shapes with different colors corresponding to the chart. Okay, and the same thing with the starburst. You'll see that there's 12 different starbursts. So if you select each of them, you'll be able to fill each of them in with color using those charts over there in Canvas. Okay. All right. So if you have any questions, go ahead and email me. Again, this first assignment, the color wheel and the Illustrator workspace worksheets, there is no due date on those. You will have time to work on those as much as you need. Once we get into the pen tool assignment, then those will have due dates. But this first 2 assignments, there's no due date because I know some of you may be trying to still get the software, but it is very important that you do have the software by end of the 2nd week, by Friday. If for whatever reason you can't get the software, please let me know. The campus on campus tab where you can access the software as well. So if you cannot purchase it and are on campus, you can go use the lab, but it would be beneficial for you to be able to have the software at home if you need to use it and not able to get to campus for whatever reason. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, email me through Canvas or through Gmail, and my email address is on Canvas here on the home page. Okay, so right here is my email address. And again, I usually respond within 24 hours. If for whatever reason I can't respond or you don't hear from me within those 24 hours, go ahead and email me again, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Okay. Again, any questions, let me know. Any concerns you have or anything else you may have, you can also email me that as well. Okay. And I will be checking in with you midweek just to see how everybody's doing. I'll send out an email just to check where everybody's at so far. Okay, so again, any questions, don't hesitate to email me and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, thank you.